So it was recently my birthday and I wanted to make a video teaching you guys how to use perfection years in your astrology practice. If you don't know what perfection years are, in traditional astrology, every year of your birthday, you have a planetary ruler for that year. So every time it's your birthday and you enter a new year, you have a new planetary ruler. So I'm going to show you guys how to look for your planetary ruler for that year because it is important. It's going to hold more weight at whatever transits it's going to. I'm going to do it using my chart. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is look at the house that your year is ruled by. So I just turned 28. 28 corresponds to a fifth house year. Looking at my fifth house, we can see that the ruling sign is Virgo. So knowing that means that my ruling planet for that year is going to be Mercury. I also have the moon and the north node in there. The planets inside the house do not matter. It's always the ruler of the sign of the house. So there's two elements when it comes to perfection years. First one, we see what the ruling planet for the year is going to activate or make more prominent in your birth chart. So since I am in a fifth house year, my fifth house automatically is going to be very prominent for me this year. That puts emphasis also on the planets or points that are inside that fifth house. So the moon and the north node are going to be very important for me this year. Second, we look at where the actual planet is. For me, it sits way up here in the ninth house and it activates this house as well. Because Mercury also rules Gemini, that means that my Gemini house will also be activated or be more prominent. And for me, it lands in the second house, which is the monetary house, how you make your money, self-value, things like that. The second important part about a perfection year reading is that you have to look at the transits that are going to happen to that planet for that year. For example, my planetary ruler is Mercury for this year, so I had to pay extra attention to retrogrades because Mercury is the planet that does the most retrogrades, about 3 times a year. Other things would be conjunctions to the malefic planets, Mars and Saturn for hardships, or the positive planets, Venus and Jupiter for a more easier time. If you work with outer planets, I would also look out for those as well, especially Pluto. I'm also going to pay attention Mercury changing signs because that's going to change how Mercury operates and therefore going to have a bigger impact on me this year. But that is a generalized overview of how to look at perfection years. Let me know what year you're in. I'm very curious what everybody's planetary ruler is for 2025.